Costa Peric is a great friend of mine. He's a great guy. Gates Foundation, fabulous. The Mojo Loop and the project you're doing with them. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, look, I'm really excited about that work. Back to being a mission-driven company. Look, I will admit I'm a capitalist and I want to build a business. But it's awesome to be at a company where I feel like we can put our dent in the universe. As Ripple achieves success, you can start to see tangibly how that could have, ripple effects.
Well done.
Bear with me. As to how that can impact society in grander ways. We've actually been working with the Gates Foundation for a long time now. I think around 2 years, maybe a little bit longer. And so to finally have some of that work announced publicly is really gratifying, and I think very much on mission for what Ripple's trying to do, and we couldn't be happier about it. Costa's been a fabulous advocate, and I do think there's a certain irony of he, as the chief architect of SwiftNet.
Yeah, I was going to go there. Don't worry.
But he's been a big advocate of some of the core, particularly interledger protocol and what we're doing there, and just couldn't be more excited about what they have going on.
Every pre-1933 Blue Sky law required that there be post-sale obligations on the promoter of the alleged security. Looking at page 19 of the brief, quote, "There also can be no investment contract unless the contract includes an undertaking of post-sale obligations by the promoter to the investor. Otherwise, the contract is simply an asset sale. The Blue Sky cases rejected attempts to fit contracts without such obligations into that statutory language." So what's that mean? That means that when Ripple sold or sells XRP to you, it must have a legal obligation to you of some sort in order for there to be an investment contract and for there to be a sale of security. Let that sink in for a second. In other words, when you bought XRP, Ripple must have had a legal obligation to do something for you. But think about it. If Ripple decides to drop XRP altogether and use XLM instead for cross-border payments, do you have any legal recourse? No, you don't. There would be nothing you or I could do about it. Ripple has no legal obligation to you, and that, my friends, according to Blue Sky laws, which interpret the US securities laws, is the sale of an asset and not of a security. But before we go into what was in the briefs, there were a couple of shocks about what was not in the briefs. Now, first and foremost, despite all of the discussion about this by Attorney John Deaton and lately by the Digital Chamber of Commerce, nowhere in the SEC motion for summary judgment does it argue that XRP is inherently a security. In fact, the SEC's brief is laser focused on Ripple's sales and marketing of XRP, and that Ripple's actions alone are what made the sales of that a security. Look at the SEC's table of contents, page 4 and 5. Just looking at the headlines, headline 1, Ripple offered and sold investment contracts. Headline 2, defendants violated Section 5 when they offered and sold XRP in a public distribution. That's all the SEC is really arguing, and that is not an argument that XRP is per se a security. And that is a huge concession to take that off the table, because I believe that also takes off the table our nightmare scenario that we discussed previously, that the court finds XRP itself as security and you are left holding a useless and worthless piece of digital code.
Thanks, Jeremy Hogan, for bringing this up, and you couldn't have been more right. Guys, for months we've been waiting for the conclusion of this entire case, and it might be finally over. If you are an XRP holder, this video is definitely for you. I'm super excited to share with you what I just found out, and I'm pretty sure you will be at the edge of your seat. So before we get down to the nitty-gritty, let's roll that intro. As always, welcome to Moneyside, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get updates when we drop new videos. Don't forget to smash that like button. Remember, you can always leave a question or comment in the section below. Did you guys notice that the SEC is only focused on winning this case? I guess Ripple's lawyers have thrown the regulatory body so off balance that they only want to win. While on the other hand, Ripple is focused on regulations, and this could affect how the SEC conducts their business in the future. In other words, Ripple's win is a win for the whole crypto community, but the SEC's win is nothing but just a win on this case.
But as an investor in the space, Miguel, watching this or looking at the regulation coming in, what should you be thinking? Should you be concerned or hedging or pivoting?
I mean, if I'm if I'm investing in kind of crypto writ large, just broadly, I'm looking at folks who have their regulatory house in order, right? And that's I think that those are the bets that you want to make.
Gotcha.
I don't think it's prudent to, and look, depends on how you want to invest. If you're just investing a little bit here, a little bit there, but I wouldn't put large sums of money in a project that basically says, well, we're going to be decentralized, so regulations aren't going to matter. I think that stance is foolhardy, right? I mean, we've now watched governments trace ransomware BTC back to wallets. It's clear that, just because you're anonymous on a chat room or you're anonymous on Twitter, you're not really that anonymous, right? I would say that if you're going to put money down in crypto, I think a little regulatory due diligence around how folks are thinking about that is good.
And now all Ethereum holders are dumping the coin and are actively involved in buying and selling of XRP since Ripple is about to finish the lawsuit. However, according to different sources, Ethereum is about to be sued by the SEC. When that lawsuit drops, I don't think Ethereum is strong enough to handle the ripple effects of it. For some reason, I believe Ripple was built with a robust mission that could definitely take on the regulatory body and win, according to what is happening now. However, with Ethereum's merge not going exactly as people planned, another hit on the price of Ethereum could send that crypto down to an even stronger bearish movement. How long do you think this crypto will last in such a market? Right now, XRP is operating like it's lost, and this coin has been strong enough to withstand whatever the SEC throws at them. Despite what most people think, Ripple is winning every day. They've even gone to the extent of expanding their territory in Canada. And if you watched my previous video, Ripple might also be in bed with the US government. Now put 1 and 2 together and you'll see clearly why XRP is compared to the next Bitcoin in most conversations. This coin could easily be the next crypto king. So, if you're still waiting for this lawsuit to be over so that you can invest in XRP, you very well might be too late. Guys, here's your one chance in a lifetime to finally get ahead of the whales and invest right. Only amateurs are hanging on to cryptos that have no real life value or do not do anything for the world. If you know what you're doing in the crypto world, I'm sure you can already see XRP's bright future.
Well, as we talked about, there's other regulators. I mean, Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, has been prone to say the crypto's the Wild West. I mean, I don't know what he means by that. I mean, Ripple as a company is regulated both in the United States and other global regulators in a whole bunch of different ways. So I don't think it's the Wild West at all. I think crypto certainly is a volatile asset class, but it's also worth noting that, from the NASDAQ composite hit a peak right before COVID, and then was down 55% after COVID. And by comparison, crypto's down maybe 65%. All asset classes have a certain volatility. I don't think it's a regulator's job to determine how that volatility should be, accessed by consumers, by businesses, what have you.
Right.
Look, I actually came to Toronto yesterday from Zurich. I was at a central bankers conference in Zurich, and I was thrilled by the reception, in part because they're inviting Ripple to attend. I was on stage with the CEO of Crypto.com. The CEO of Binance was in attendance. And so I think there's a genuine thirst. And again, this was a central banker conference organized by Switzerland and Singapore. There's no real surprise there. They're leading and saying, hey, let's engage private and public conversation to figure out how the rules should work. And let's make sure we have actors who are trying to live by those rules. My experience truly has been, for Ripple anyway, once we meet with regulators, central bankers, and help them understand, here's how our technology works, here's how we are using the open source technology of XRP, they get very comfortable, because the regulations I think most regulators care the most about are know your customer, KYC, anti-money laundering, AML, terrorist financing. Those are very important foundational regulatory frameworks that don't change in how Ripple goes to market. And I think all crypto companies, probably could do a better job of understanding those are regulatory frameworks that aren't going to go away in any of the G20 markets.
All right.
As always, do your own research and always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. You can always let us know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have a conversation. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and please click on that subscribe button below and turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next Money Side.